What is going on, guys? Panther here, and we are here with our P4G Next Generation draft analysis. So, as many of you guys, I'm sure, are already aware, the P4G is a league that's been in existence for 2 seasons. Well, recently, the owner of the league, Kale, decided to make a D-League of sorts called P4G Next Generation, and we were one of the lucky coaches that were selected to participate here this season. So Kyle, Link's Forte, and Kelly, just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for the invite to the league. Really excited to be able to participate this season and try my hand in the P4G instead of being an analyst. So, again, thank you guys for the opportunity here. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our draft analysis. So it's basically P4G tiers with a bit of a tweak. They have an S tier full of Ubers, basically, not too overpowered Ubers like Primal Groudon or Mons like that, but the Ubers kind of on the lesser end. Tapu Lele, Mega Metagross, what is that thing called, Nagandle, Mons like that, Genesect, Aegislash. So we had the opportunity, and we actually drafted first, so we had the opportunity to basically select any Pokemon that we wanted to build around. So the S tiers actually come with a little bit of a catch, though. However, they took up your mega slot, and depending on what you drafted, they cost a certain amount of your free points as well. So the most expensive Mon, costing your mega slot and 140 points, was Mega Metagross. As you can see, we decided to go with Mega Metagross for our first overall pick. It is that pricey for a reason. It has amazing stats across the board. As you can see here, lowest base stats going to be 80 with its HP, 145 attack, 150 defense, great speed tier at 110. A really good ability before pre-mega as well in Clear Body. So, like, let's say it comes in on Sticky Webs, for example, not even affected by it, can go ahead and get its mega off and just ignore that completely. But a really good ability. Has access to be able to set up with Rock Polish, Agility, Home Claws, or even Power Up Punch if you want to, a little bit of chip damage each turn as well. Access to Priority, can get a boost with Meteor Mash as well. Access to Elemental Punches, except for Fire Punch. Has a lot of really good coverage moves. This Mon is a huge threat. Has access to Stealth Rocks even. And while I thought it was very pricey for 140 points, there were some Mons in lower tiers that I really felt that I could build around it well with. So I figured it was a good opportunity to draft this guy. I know I wasn't going to get an opportunity really in any of the league I've ever been into draft Mega Metagross, aside from like an Ubers league that I did. So I just wanted to jump on that opportunity. Coming into P4G Next Generation, I've known I was going to be in it for the last couple of weeks. Didn't know they were going to do an S tier first. Did not know where I was going to draft either, but I really wanted Zygarde 50%. But I felt like that would be so underwhelming with Mega Metagross and other Ubers like Nagandle and Tapu Lele there available. So we decided to go with Mega Metagross, and as you can see with the rest of our team, and you can already see our first 6 picks up on the board actually, but we really tried to build around that. So with the first several picks, I really just wanted to support Mega Metagross. So if I'm thinking about it, what do I need to support that? I needed something to take on fire attacks, ground attacks, ghost type attacks, and dark type attacks. Something that can absorb status, and maybe even something that can wish pass as well. So I was first. I had to wait several picks before I was able to pick again at the end of round 2 and at the beginning of round 3. So we have the wheel going into these. So we're able to pair some Mons up. So with our next pick in this draft, we were able to snag Sylveon from tier 2. So Sylveon is a great fairy type, and especially for the price of tier 2. Great stats across the board, as you can see up on the screen. Its lowest stats going to be its speed, but you're not going to want it quick anyways. But its defense is only 65 base, but you can invest in that to beef it up overall. But this Mon's going to do great for helping me take on those dark types. Going to be able to support Mega Metagross with being my cleric, or even passing some wishes into it. I can pivot with Baton Pass on this as well. But this Mon's really going to help me, I felt like, just sponge some hits from that Mega Metagross. Very high Spadef stats, so it can come in on Flamethrowers and Fire Blast most likely, if I EV it correctly. but I really thought Sylveon was a great value pick for it to be way down in tier 2. Typically, you do see it tier 1 or tier 2, but you know, this mon I feel like is a really good mon. Can set up Calm Minds. It can hit really hard with its Specs Hyper Voice set with Pixelate. It's just a really good mon overall, and it's a mon that I'm comfortable and familiar with. One of the top fairies in the game, so I'm really glad to be able to pick up Sylveon here with the second pick. So for our third pick, with the wheel again, we decided to go with Mandibuzz, also from tier 2. So I wanted to go ahead and pick up a hazard removal. And I really felt like Mandibuzz paired really well with Mega Metagross. So we talked about earlier how Metagross is weak to 4 different types. It's weak to Fire, Ground, Dark, and Ghost. The latter, Mandibuzz has an immunity to Ground, it resists Ghost, and it resists Dark. It can pivot with U-turn. It can dissuade setup with like Foul Play or Whirlwind. It can obviously status. It can taunt. It's just a really good bulky wall to use. I felt like being able to pair it with Mega Metagross. So I wanted to go ahead and nab it for it, just in case anybody else had it on their radar. I felt like this one was going to be really key to supporting Mega Metagross here on my team this season. So I wanted to go ahead and snag it. It's a pretty straightforward mon in what it does. It's just there to sponge hits and pivot. It's not going to rack up a bunch of kills or anything like that, but it does its job very well. Of course, it is weak to have Stealth Rocks, so it's going to be a little annoying trying to switch that in if I really need to remove rocks. But Mandibuzz was a good mod, and 80 base speed overall on a wall without any investment is going to be really good as well, because it's kind of like a fast taunt user, and I'm a big fan of taunt users as well. So we had a while to wait again before we were able to draft, but round 4 came all the way back up to us, and we were able to dip into tier 3 to grab Goodra. So we complete our Dragon Fairy Steel Core here now with this. Goodra in tier 3, I really am hoping is a really good mon here for me this season. A couple of good abilities with Sap Sipper and Hydration. I can even run Gooey if I want to slow something down, one of his more physical attackers. But it can run a lot of different sets well. The AV set, like a Cursed Hydration set against Rain. I can run a Spec set or a Banded set. I can run like a Phasing set with like Dragon Tail. But this mon really gets coverage moves for days and can really just fire off strong coverage moves and hit whatever your potential switch in could be. So like if somebody has like a Sizzle or like a Gliscor, I can pack Ice Beam or Flamethrower. If they have like a Gyarados, I can pack the Thunderbolt. There's a lot of different moves that this guy could run, and I really was excited to see Goodra down in tier 3 and for it to make it all the way back around to me. I felt like, again, this mon pairs really good with Mega Metagross because it can come in and take those fire type hits. So it gives me my first fire resist. And as you can see with our next pick, we actually shore up our fire resist as well, with us dipping into tier 4 to grab Jellicent. So it gives us a water immunity, gives us a spin blocker, and I'm a really big fan of Jellicent as well. I think it is one of the best tier 4 mons. I think it's one of the best water types, to be completely honest with you. I mean, Melodic's amazing, Blastoise is very good, but I really think Jellicent is one of the top value picks in League format. Again, gets Taunt. You're gonna hear me say that a lot, that I love Taunt on mons. Access to reliable recovery and recover, and it doesn't do a lot of different jobs, but it does its job very well, which is just coming in and sponging hits. Again, this mon can I really love Jellicent. It was one of my championship teams with Sylveon, actually, and these mons can just really do a lot of work when paired together. So really excited to be able to grab Jellicent. Maybe I reached a little high for it, but I wanted to go ahead and grab it because, as you can see, with my first 4 picks here, I really just wanted to support Mega Metagross as best as I could. Mega Metagross is really going to be the key for me this season. I've already invested so many points into it with my 140 points, so I really got to support it as best I can, and I really felt like I've been able to do that with my first few picks. So in round 6, again, this is the first part of my wheel, I was able to grab Electros, again out of tier 4. I had a couple of options here, Jolteon from tier 3, Electros, or Rotom Mow. But it's been a while since I've used Electros, and I wanted the opportunity to use it again. Also was really excited about having another ground immunity for Mega Metagross to pair with Mandibuzz, and then another good flat electric resist as well to pair with my Mandibuzz and Jellicent. So great Mon. I love how it gets access to Super Fang. I believe this is also another taunt user. No, actually it does not get taunt. I am thinking of somebody else here later in the draft, which is kind of crazy. This Batmon gets taunt. But anyways, so the Electros I felt like was a really valuable pickup for me here in the 6th round. So I'm getting where I'm pretty low on points, and I needed to go ahead and kind of shore up some of those Mons on my team from the lower tiers, some of the better Mons, just to make sure my team can support itself overall. But this is another Mon that gets access to all kinds of crazy coverage moves. So was really excited to be able to draft Electros and to see him available still for me. Alright, so with the second part of our wheel pick, we go ahead and grab the tier 1 monster that is Terrakion. So this thing gets dual dance that I can set up with Rock Polish and Stone Edge. Gives me another good fast Pokemon as well, since my team's kind of lackluster on speed right now. This gives me a reliable Scarfer that I can use. I can run Choice Band on if I really want just to pop something really hard, or even a potential Z Crystal that you will soon see that I do have to draft here in just a bit at some point. So, like I said, this Mon is able to set up with either SD or Rock Polish. As you can see, it gets Calm Mind as well, but you know, we're not going to do that unless we're memeing, most likely. But it gives me another Stealth Rock user, of course, with me not wanting to run rocks on the Mega Metagross, most likely. But it gets some coverage moves as well with moves like Earthquake and Poison Jab. I do believe it gets Iron Head as well. Yep, it gets the Iron Head. So this is a bomb that I'm fairly familiar with. I've used it in another league before, so hopefully it's able to put in the workforce here this season. So as you can see with our last 4 Pokemon picks here, I had to dip into Tier 5 and Tier 3. That's just how the points kind of worked out for me, spending 140 so early in the draft. So with this next pick, I wanted to go ahead and get a Mon that I felt shored up a couple of different things for me. I wanted another Stealth Rock user, and I wanted a ground type. Knowing that I had to come from Tier 5, I was kind of limited on my options, but Golurk is by far the best ground type from Tier 5, in my opinion. You can get Claydol, but I'm not all that big of a Claydol fan. I considered Sandslash as well to get another pure, just to get a pure ground type, so I wouldn't be too dark or Ghost Weak or anything like that. But I really felt like I could use Golurk more offensively as well, since it really gets 2 good abilities, Iron Fist and No Guard. So I can fire off No Guard dynamic punches, or I can fire off boosted Iron Fist punches with like Ice Punch or Thunder Punch or Shadow Punch. So this is another really cool Mon here that we can use. We can set up with it with the Rock Polish as well, and like I said, it can also set my Stealth Rocks. So I felt like Golurk was a pretty reliable Mon. Runs an AV set pretty well also. So I felt like this Mon's a fairly hard Mon to switch into. 124 base attack. Yeah, 124 base attack is no joke, and it's going to hit pretty hard if you're not expecting it. So I wanted to get some more offensive pop to pair with Terrakion and Mega Metagross. I felt like I had enough bulk already, and I felt Golurk would be the right Mon for me. Alright, so with our next pick, it is a Mon that I was very, very excited to be able to have the opportunity to draft. I had used it in another league before, and I've seen a lot of success with it. I needed something that could be able to set up on the special side, and that was fairly fast. I still needed my fire type, so I was able to snag Salazzle pretty late in the draft here. So this was the Mon I was talking about earlier that gets access to Taunt. Again, I love Taunt users. It does get access to it, so I think that's pretty cool if I catch something off guard with the Taunt. It gets pretty cool set that I like, the Sub-Disable set that I've ran a couple times before. It has a pretty cool ability in Corrosion, so I'm able to toxic Steel types, but you know what, Steel type's going to stay in on me anyways. But I'm also able to toxic Poison types as well, so I can toxic like Mega Venusaur or something like that. So that's going to be pretty neat. Pretty neat here for Salazzle, but like I said, gets access to Nasty Plots. Pretty straightforward Mon. Doesn't hit pretty hard. Doesn't hit very hard without the boost, but it does hit pretty hard with this dual stab. So Steel types can't switch in safely to be immune from the Poison type moves, just because the Fire type. So its dual stab is pretty difficult to switch into overall. And then again, it does get access to some cool coverage moves, like the knockoff. It gets like some cool tech like Encore as well that I'm forgetting to mention. So that was the end of round 9 there, I believe. So round 10, we had to dip again into tier 5, and wanted to get some more speed, wanted to get some more offense, and wanted to get a ghost immunity as well. And I thought, I love Tauros, so let's go ahead and pick it up. So a lot of mons in this draft have access to a lot of different coverage moves, and again, Tauros does as well. Gets a great ability with Sheer Force. And I've actually seen a cool anger point set work in a meme battle before as well, being able to get that and get that +6 boost. So I think that's pretty cool. But Tauros is a pretty straightforward mon. Great speed tier 110. Has access to some cool coverage moves like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Fire Blast, and Flamethrower. I think it gets Ice Beam at least. Yeah, it gets Ice Beam. But you know, Sheer Force boosted body slams, Zen headbutts, rock slides. Those are going to hurt. This mon can hit pretty hard overall. That 100 base attack can be a little deceiving with that Sheer Force boost, but it also gives me an Intimidate user as well if I want to use it defensively. And I know it's a weird defensive Tauros, but could be pretty cool if I'm looking for some heat one week. So actually here for my 11th overall pick, like I said earlier in the draft, we had to draft a Z Crystal. I had went back and forth on a couple different Z Crystals throughout this. I really wanted to get Fight EMZ, that went. Wanted to get Rock EMZ, that went. And then I had the opportunity to draft Fire EMZ or Poison EMZ for Salazzle. I decided to go with the Poison EMZ just because Terrakion can use it as well with Poison Jab. And I felt like that would hit harder overall. I can't do any cool like status moves or anything with it. But my team's going to be really relying on Mega Metagross, so I didn't really feel like I needed a Super Z move or anything like that. I feel like as long as I could support Mega Metagross well, I'm never out of any game. So I was able to snag that. I don't have a lot of mons that can use it, but if I do bring it, it's going to most likely be on Salazzle or the Terrakion, just to hit with those coverage moves. And then with the very last pick in the draft, I wanted to snag a Grass type. Thought having another Water immunity would be pretty cool with Storm Drain. And wanted to get another mon that could Stealth Rocks, potentially pass like Leech Seed and things like that. Wait, wrong. Don't get Leech Seed. But I kind of talked into Credilli here by some other guys in the ACC. It was between, gosh, what was it between? I went between several grass types in the tier, like Lilligant, Credilli. I just needed grass type. If it doesn't work out with Credilli, you could always drop it and pick up something else. But Credilli's got really good special defense overall. Not a bad defense stat or anything. And I'm sure it will do its job well in getting the Stealth Rock set up. I could potentially run like some type of like curse set or something like that on it. But I think more likely this is going to be my mon that just comes in and sets rocks if I do even choose to bring it. I was kind of out of points at this stage, so not overly excited about the Credilli or anything like that. But you know, who knows? It could end up surprising some people overall. But anyways, guys, that wraps up our 12-round draft here. So definitely let me know what you think about the team in the comments section down below. I'm really excited again to say to be able to use Mega Metagross this season. So hopefully we're able to use it well and able to represent a little bit here in the P4G, coming over from the analyst position. But again, thank you again to Kyle A, Lynx Forte, and Under the Radar for the invitation to the league. Again, be sure to check out the channel every Friday, guys. That's when the battle videos are going to go up, starting Friday the 19th of January. So I think this video will actually go up on Friday as well, the 12th of January. So just be able to check the channel next week. Of course, our APA videos are going to continue as normal, coming up on Sundays every week. So wish us luck in our week 1 game, guys. We play the California Castforms and All Blitz Teemo. Really excited to be able to bring that battle to you guys next week. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, tell me what you think of the team in the comments section down below, and really looking forward to our week 1 battle. But again, guys, thanks.